Okay. So I usually start these by asking if you've seen a lot of my typing sessions before.
I sure have. I discovered your channel maybe 2 weeks ago and I've been mesmerized by it. I've watched maybe 15 probably typing sessions of yours. I could probably recite to you the first 3 or 4 questions you're going to ask to me.
Okay.
Just now, just to tell you what I'm looking for today is the things I'm really trying to nail down. I really want to know what my blind spot is, and I'm really trying to nail down where in the world is my FI. And I'm sure you're going to be able to help me with both of those, but those are the two main things. I'm not super racked around the axle about which personality type I am. I'm more here to compare notes and to like see how accurately I am seeing things. I'm trying to learn about the functions, and I want to use this um, to find out where my polar is, find out where my FI is, and and well, I kind of forgot where I was going from there. Sorry.
Okay, that's
Uh,
fine. Well, why don't I just start off with some polar tests and we'll see how you do on them. Okay.
sure, sounds good.
So I'll start with some TI questions.
Sure.
If some dogs eat cats and some things that eat cats also eat skunks, is it necessarily the case that some dogs eat skunks?
Some dogs eat cats. Some dogs eat cats. Some also
Some
eat skunks.
no, some dogs eat cats. Some things that eat cats also eat skunks. Do some
Gotcha.
dogs necessarily eat skunks?
So no.
Correct. If only porpoises swim in the ocean and I swim in the ocean, am I necessarily a porpoise?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me if oranges mean apples and apples mean pears, and I have 3 oranges and 2 apples, what do I really have?
5 pairs.
Now I have 3 apples and 2 pears.
Let me
Because the
review that.
oranges become apples and the apples become pears.
Good point. Okay.
All right. Well, you're not TI polar. We can eliminate that.
Okay.
I can eliminate that already, but I can ask you some more TI questions to see where, give me some sense of where it might be in the stack, but that's not going to be definitive like a polar test is, you know.
Okay.
Can you tell me who my mother's sister's daughter is in relationship to me?
Mother sister is my cousin.
Correct. How about my father's wife's only daughter-in-law?
Father's wife's is my mother.
Correct. Good. All right. So we can eliminate right off the bat then 2 types, and you're not TI polar, you're not ESFP, and you're not ENFP.
Cool.
Okay, let's go for extroverted intuition polar. Can you tell me some synonyms for the word bold?
Old would be
No, not
ancient.
old, not old, bold.
Bold.
Yeah,
BOLD.
yeah, yeah.
Bold might be vibrant, challenging, lively. None of these are perfect. Bold, self-confident. That's not good.
Okay, that's
Bold.
fine.
Okay.
Now I'm going to come up with a new invention, and I'd like you to come up with some names for my invention. some snappy marketing names for my invention. Okay.
Okay.
My invention is it's a kitchen knife that has attached to with one pole, right? Half of it is a knife, the other half is a garlic hammer. So you can hammer the garlic and then turn it around and cut the garlic with the same knife.
Yeah, let's give it cool names like the Zabadoo or the man. Cutting. Let's just start throwing things out like the slice and cut, the peel and slice, the ease maker,
Right. All
man,
right, that's fine. That's fine.
yeah.
Let me ask you I'm going to give you one more extra intuition question here.
Okay.
And here's the start of a story. Now you tell me the finish of the story. Okay. The start of the story is there are 3 pigeons and a crow. And the crow is bossing the pigeons around. They're all sitting on a wire, and the crow is saying, "You guys need to space yourselves evenly apart from each other," just giving them random instructions. And the pigeons' names are Abe, Barry, and Carl. Now you finish the story.
So Abe, Barry, and Carl all pulling together to huddle up a little bit. Like, you know what? I'm tired of this son of a gun's action, man. I don't like the way he's doing these things. I think between the 3 of us, we might be able to team this guy, man. We might, between the 3 of us, we got to have some good ideas. What can we do? You know what? Help us out, Crow. If you could come over here and if you could help us out, maybe like our wingspan. I think our wings aren't. They don't span as wide as yours, so we can't really tell how far apart we're supposed to be. If you could come over here, like right in between us, and help us get spaced out. And then the crow comes over, plops down, and talks some smack to him, obviously. And then they grab him from all sides, peck out all of his feathers, and shit on his head.
Brutal. Wow. That's fine. You're not extroverted intuition polar. We can
Okay.
eliminate that. If you've seen any typing sessions where I type an ISTP or an ISFP, you probably have a good sense of what extroverted intuition polar looks like. It's like, they give you one answer and then that's basically it.
Yep. I agree.
So you're not TI polar, you're not extroverted intuition polar. Let's check introverted intuition. I'm going to give you a long sentence with redundancies in it and unnecessary information, and you reduce it to the nutshell version of it, okay?
Sure.
If you want to have window coverings or window treatments, as they're sometimes called, inside your house that allow you maximum flexibility in terms of both shutting out the light and outside and in terms of letting it in, then perhaps you would enjoy getting plantation shutters. Plantation shutters are these shutters right here, and they're good because you can open both of the doors all the way open, or you could just push down the slats and let in the light like that. And they're good because they've got good insulative properties as far as keeping out the cold and stuff. And they also look nice. So that's why if you want good window treatments, you should get plantation shutters.
If you want good window treatments, get plantation shutters because they'll keep the heat in and let the light in as well. Wow, that was rough.
That's not too bad. That's pretty good. That's definitely not anti-polar. Okay,
Yeah.
you did a good job with that as far as leaving out a lot of details but getting the core points, I guess. So I'm gonna try asking an anti-polar question in a way that I've never really tried asking it before, but if I was going to come up with a sentence that about the many reasons why somebody might want to join the submarine crew in the Navy, what would be, you think, the most important key points to highlight?
The most important key points are to appeal to the four basic motivators that people have. They're either motivated by reward, ideology, coercion, or ego. Pick the one of those that appeals to the widest array of people, which would be ideology, and you put in your commercial convincing people that it is the right thing to do to sign up for the submarine crew.
Okay, so you're taking the position of an advocate that you should become a submariner. Okay, that's fine. That's excellent. What about money? Does that qualify as any of those things that you said as a motivator?
Sure. That's the first one, reward.
Oh, reward. My sorry, forgot about reward. Yeah.
That's all right. I don't. I know you already know all this stuff. I'm just chit chatting with you.
I didn't. I've never heard that before. Actually, I've never heard that. I thought it was interesting. The idea that there are four core motivations.
Well, a small little tangent. How I found out about Myers-Briggs and the cognitive functions was from a ex-CIA spy who he was talking about how CIA uses typology and people's cognitive functions and knowledge of those four main motivators when they go into a country and they're trying to select people to convince to espionage and to give America secrets from those countries. They have to use those four motivators. So it was a CIA guy that introduced me to typology.
He has kind of longish black hair.
Yep, that's the guy.
Yeah, I've seen that guy too.
I'm sure you know that he only just dipped his toe. His audience doesn't really care about the cognitive functions. They want CIA flavored self-help. So that's what he sells them, and they're all happy with that. But that's where I first found out about cognitive functions. This stuff is mesmerizingly interesting to me. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
No problem. So you're not NI-polar, you're not NE-polar, you're not TI-polar. Let's check SI. This is not as definitive as my other polar test, by the way. This will tell me kind of front stack, back stack. It might tell me 7, 8 or something else, but it's not as definitive as the other polar test.
Sure.
So can you detail the last time you went to the grocery store, all the things you did, like in boring order like this? Well, last time we went to the store, first we went into the side of the store where the chips are, and we got a couple of chips, and we only had a few things on our list, and then we went down next to the medication aisle, but we turned right to get cat food. Like that. Can you do that?
Sure, yeah. I went to Walmart. I went to the entrance that was toward the right side of the building, went in, that's where all the produce is, and made my way down that far right wall, essentially headed for the meats. I was there for ham and some cheese. From there, I cut straight over to the pet aisle to get some toys for a dog that a friend of mine has, and I dipped straight out of there. That was it.
Okay. Well, that definitely doesn't sound like SI polar, but let me ask some more questions.
Sure.
What did you have for breakfast?
This morning, I had a number 3 combo from Hardee's. Medium sized with a Coke. I have that same thing pretty much every day.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Can you tell me about your sleeping habits?
Sure. Let's see. My whole life, up till COVID, I stayed up way too late and got way too little sleep and was dragging ass all the time. I'd live on, 4 or 5 hours of sleep or something, if that. Once COVID hit, I started going to sleep early. These days, I get at least 6 hours. 6 does me pretty good. If I need to get a little bit less than that, I function okay down to about, if I only have to do one day, I can function okay on 3 hours. But I'll have to come home and grab a nap later that day or something. Less than 3 hours, I'm probably going to call in and say, "Hey guys, I can't make it today."
Okay, cool. You don't sound SI-polar, but you definitely don't sound. You don't sound SI front stack either. I'm not, but I don't know. I don't know what to make of your SI. Let me ask you some TE questions now.
Sure.
Can you break down the task of painting a wall into exactly 5 steps?
Decide the color you want to paint it, assemble the tools, paint the wall, clean the equipment, put away the equipment.
Okay. What are some possible solutions that you can think of to the problem of littering?
When you say littering, that's a verb, so I think you want to prevent additional littering. So I think you in the long term, you have to make it socially unacceptable. In the short term, wildly increase the fines.
Okay. All right. I'm honing in on your type a bit here. I think that your observation that littering implies dealing with a problem that's ongoing rather than the existing litter that's there. That's a very revelatory distinction for you to have made, I think. Anyway, what's important to you?
This is always where the needle scratches off the record. I mean, I can tell you things I like. What's important to you? So things like my freedom, my like independence, making enough money that I can live comfortably. Things like that. But I'm very, while we're on the subject of right and wrong, like I've been very aware of things like my whole life. I don't really have a sense of right or wrong. It's more of a, there's rules, there's rules we all have to live by. And
Well,
so we say,
how do you feel when you hurt somebody?
well, it depends on the context. If I hurt someone because they deserved it, I mean, if someone's hurting my feelings and I say something that hurts their feelings, then I don't feel bad at all. But I do for sure have like a guilty conscience. I've heard you talk about the shame shivers before, which I never knew there was I didn't know there was a name for it until I heard you say it. And right when you said it, I knew exactly what you meant.
You know who made that term up as far as I know?
Who's that?
Charlie Sheen.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, as far as I know, he made it up. He's the first person I ever heard it from.
Well, I get those. I still get those from shit with childhood. I mean, you just, I know exactly what that is. It's all of
So it's a mistake?
The values stuff is really, I'm struggling with it. I've had to Google things that I can't believe I've had to Google. Like 2 weeks ago, I had to Google what are values, and I had to Google what does it mean to connect with your values and stuff like that. It's just things that
But
seem.
you probably got terrible answers to those questions. Values are either absolute or instrumental, and they link to your attentional stack.
Yep, I heard you talking about that on another one last night. The absolute versus
Instrumental.
instrumental. Darn it. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I feel like I already know what type you are. Not that we've got plenty of time left, and we can talk about it as much as we want. But I already feel like I know what type you are. But let me check. What haven't I checked? Oh, what's your relationship with procrastination like?
At work, I almost don't do it at all. For the last 10 years, when I switched careers at the age of 40 and didn't, and I knew I had to hit the ground running, for 10 years at work, I don't procrastinate at all. I go really hard. As soon as I clock out at work, I don't do anything unless it's damn near the shit's going to hit the fan today. Like as we sit right here today, I'm driving around on tags that are expired for 7 months. I have just ridiculous stuff like that. Just insane things that outside of work, I will walk past and procrastinate forever. But in work, I get after it like there's no tomorrow because I'm afraid of, not being able to make enough money and live a comfortable life.
Sure. Okay. How do you feel about socializing and stuff? Do you like to you have a lot of friends that you go out with and stuff, or are you more of a homebody? Or
I have not made this will sound like a lie. I have not made a new friend in 25 years because so I've moved around over the last 20 years and stuff. I've moved around a whole bunch, and so essentially at this point I have what I would call friends, where you call them up and go over and watch a baseball game or something. I do date, I always have a girlfriend or something, so it's not like I'm a hermit that lives under a rock. But as far as like making friends and going out and doing that stuff, I never make new friends. The last 2 friends that I had to verbally tell me in words, "Hey, we're friends." Had to say it to me. And I remember hearing it and going, "Oh, this guy, oh, we're friends." So still now 20 something years later, I'm still friends with both of those guys, but they both had to tell me because I didn't know they wanted to be friends. I never know anybody wants to be friends. Now I go to work, to answer your question. I'm very warm. I socialize with, I'm very warm toward people, but I'm very warm, but I think it's very shallow. It's, I can be very warm with someone, at this job that I have, and being very caring and stuff like that. And then when I leave this job and go to the next job, that person will never hear from me again.
Right. So, would you say what was I going to ask you? Okay. Well, it seems pretty clear to me that you're an ESTP at bipolar.
I wondered about that. Go ahead.
TI tool, SE Dom. Well, I know what I was going to ask you. What's your relationship with planning ahead? Like, do you like to make plans for next Wednesday, or do you like to keep things open?
I never, ever make plans. I have, I can tell you things that are going to happen in the next week, but I avoid even things that I want to do. I try to avoid getting pinned down on a specific time.
Yeah, that's absolutely consistent with SE Dom. Yeah, we action types in general don't like to plan, but ESTPs even less so because they have SI unconscious. So the reason it's difficult for me to spot your SI or NI, that everything's consistent with ESTP because like when I check your SI, it's very fluent, and where people are fluent in both is 4-5. So I'm also fluent in both SI and NI. SI is my conscious one, NI is my unconscious. You're fluent in SI and NI. NI is your conscious one, and SI is your unconscious. But if I test those things, you're gonna test strong on both, which you did. All right. So we have a half an hour, about 35 minutes. So please direct the conversation however you want, and I'd be happy to answer any questions, or I could do an Enneagram test on you if you'd like, or.
Let me think. This really, I think this is probably going to, man, I'm going to try to sit here and think if I can come up with a question or two, but.
Let me give you a third option. Since we've only done half an hour, if you want to end this now, go away, think about it. We can do the other half hour later.
Eric, I would love to go away and think up a couple of questions and come back and do that later.
Okay, so just shoot me an email regarding the day and time you want to finish this, and we'll finish it then. And this lets me get down to Oakhurst a little quicker too, so it's helpful for me.
All right, good deal. All right, appreciate you. Have a good day, and
all right,
catch you later.
See you soon.
See you soon. Bye.
Oh my gosh, if he's an ESTP and he lets you